So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the counters to Plaguebringer. Nowadays, I actually don't see that many people playing Plaguebringer, and I'm not entirely sure why. I feel like right now, Plaguebringer is actually one of the best demons to go because everyone is really focused on using warriors against Puppeteer and Ball. And because of this, you can really choose Plaguebringer as an off-meta pick and really throw a wrench in survivors' plans because they're more likely to go all warriors and a support. And the elites for Plaguebringer take less melee damage. So in this way, you could really do a lot of damage to the survivors. Now the elites are easier to dodge, but you can make up with it on basics. Warriors are probably the worst characters to go against Plaguebringer because they have abilities to really prevent doing damage to you. One is the Vicious Circle. Using this ability will apply a Blight. It requires Infernal Energy to use, but if you have Cauldron down, it'll cost less to use this ability. So putting Cauldron down during book phase and the Vicious Circle, the warriors aren't going to be able to do anything to you. Even Scotty with his hyper armor is going to have a problem because of combat fatigue. He's going to be doing 20% less damage. Now, with combat fatigue, you kind of really want to spec it to Blight because of this. I know this isn't talking about Plaguebringer build, but I'm just talking in general how a Plaguebringer will play. So what would be the counter for that, right? So the damage increase for Blight, so you're wasting more Shems. The Blight lasts longer, so it's 15 seconds of just no damage, and this stacks up to 7. So that's a total of 14 damage per second. And all they have to do is just have one stack of Blight for the damage reduction to take effect. Once again, so you really want to stay away from warriors with when you're going up against Plague. And that was why originally, when Plague came out, the meta against Plague was 2 hunters, a warrior, and a support. Now, I don't think that's the perfect team comp against Plague. To be honest, I think the perfect team comp, I'm kind of biased. If you haven't noticed, I'm P5ing all my leaders. But I think the perfect team comp would be Ruby, Annie, Honarash, and David. There's no reason for you to have a warrior against Plague. No reason at all. The stamina that you have for a warrior, basic can do a pincer attack over and over again. You're going to have Blight on you, so you're not going to be doing enough damage, so you're not going to be able to really kill the unit before it does a ton of damage to you. If the warrior gets trapped in an area with Cauldron, he's definitely not going to get out of that area. He has no survivability in that situation. He's going to be doing 20% less damage. The only thing that's going to really help him is that he's a tank. So Henry will maybe survive, and that's about it. So even in this situation, I would say Scotty is not a good choice. Like if you went Ruby, Annie, Scotty, and David, yes, you would have the balance bar damage and the overall damage, but when he started using basics, you're going to have a real problem and on book phase. So in this situation, I feel like Honarash is definitely the better choice. You could even go Amanda, to be honest. Amanda or Kelly or Ed. The reason I say Honarash is the best counter is because Plaguebringer's whole kit revolves around Infernal Energy, and Hunter Ash has the ability to reduce Infernal Energy with his Exorcism ability. So, yes, Plaguebringer has the most Infernal Energy that you can use, but thanks to David and Hunter Ash, that is severely reduced during book phase. And thanks to Ruby, you get those abilities faster. And so all you really have to do is worry about balance bars for the elites. And when the Hunter Ash is focusing the Possess unit that's on book, the rest of the team is focusing on Cauldron. Right? And the units around Hunter Ash so he doesn't get knocked around or gets blighted. This is why David is one of the good ones, because one of his mastery is the nail gun, and the nail gun is very good to use against Cauldron. Same with the repeating crossbow, the submachine gun. I would go for David. I would use the nail gun. Annie, I would use a revolver, Ruby, a grenade launcher, and Hunter Ash double barrel. So David would really only use his nail gun during book phase or to knock out possessions if needed, so that the way they're not really wasting a lot of special ammo. And you don't really have to deal with the units, you know? You basically just have to use your abilities to deal with the units. And everyone should have a sledgehammer, of course. Just in case if you do run out of ammo, you could at least destroy the balance bar, thanks to Annie. So, yeah, this was a very short video, and it's because Plague is very easily countered, in my opinion. More so than the rest of the demons. The only thing she really had going for her in the past was boss, but now that boss is severely nerfed and the slow speed is reduced, it's a lot easier to hit range damage shots and melee damage as well. So if you want to go warrior as well, it's still possible. In the past, Witch could move around so fast that if you went all warriors, you would literally have to keep chasing down Witch, and she'd be peppering you with damage off a point, and you had to make the decision: do I get off point to chase her down, or do I stay on point? And the answer always was to stay on point, because if you chase her down, all she's going to do is back up even further. Like, she has the edge in the fight. And this is what made her so strong, is that she was a nuisance. Just like how Elgos is a nuisance, she was a nuisance in the past. Now, she's not. She doesn't have all the wonderful things that Elgos has. Like, she doesn't have an invincibility when she moves around. She doesn't move around as fast. The only time she moves around fast is when she's running away. So, literally, she's only good to run away so you can drop your ship or amulet somewhere they're not going to follow. But they're definitely going to see you what direction you go off of. So even with Elgos, you can kind of lose where the lightning is, where he drops his amulet or ship. But with Plague, you're definitely going to see where she drops the amulet or ship. You can only hope that you drop an aim. Yeah, so really, like I said before, one more time, perfect counter: Annie, Ruby, Hunter Ash, and David. This is definitely the perfect count to Plague. I would like to hear some other team compositions from the people watching this video, just to see what their thought process is on what the perfect team counter is to Plague. The reason I'm creating these videos is because the community is becoming smaller and smaller, and you're realizing that you're facing the same demons, and so then you're noticing, okay, this person's going to go Puppeteer because they're working on the Prestige. Oh, this person's going Warlord because they're working on their Prestige. And it just becomes obvious, so you can really choose the characters to counter them. Like, I went against a streamer twice in a row, and they had the foresight knowledge to choose to counter me if they wanted to. And I do stream on Twitch now, and I am working on Warlord. So even then, you know, if somebody's streaming Demon, somebody could just be watching you and counting you that way as well. So this is the counter to Plague, in my opinion, which is funny because Mia came out at the same time as Plague, and David came out as well. So normally when they release a demon, they release survivors that kind of counter out that demon. And the problem with that is Mia isn't really a counter to any demon. Yes, she has this bleed damage that she can provide, but Kelly does that better. Way better. And she's not going to get staggered, and she's not going to be taking tons of damage. So she has the survivability and bleed damage to really focus on it. While Mia requires a lot of setup to do it. Like, to put out damage, she needs to have max fear, which makes her more possessable. So when she gets possessed, she loses all her fear, meaning she loses all her damage. I think Mia's a wonderful concept for a character, but they didn't really think it through, in my opinion. Especially when they release Ball. I mean, they even like have a picture of her. They have a picture of fear. Feel the fear. You'll deal more damage when the survivor has fear by 20%. So they knew what they were doing. I mean, yes, you can use her ability so that she's not possessable, but that only lasts for a little bit, and it only decreases her fear slightly for every kill she gets, and it increases her fear as well. While Scotty does everything better than Mia. I feel like Mia is the worst version of Scotty, like the budget Scotty, while Brock is the budget leader Ash. So yeah, thanks for watching the video, and once again, if you think of any team comps that would be perfect against Plague, please leave it in the comment section. Thank you.